This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. DTR was one of the most talked about people after the Browns' first preseason game, but was there more from that second half of the preseason to be excited about than just DTR? And what about DTR can we look at in a film breakdown that would be interesting going forward for him and this team? So let's just jump into it. Let's look at the film, a little bit of football to get you ready for some football tonight. So DTR, some of the things I thought he did really well here. One, good pocket presence. I'm always going to applaud good pocket presence. Pocket presence is kind of one of those natural things quarterbacks either have or don't. And it takes a very long time, if at all, for quarterbacks to kind of learn this, to feel things out. This just depends on how much football you've played, how comfortable you are playing that football, how comfortable you are just trusting your instincts. What you'll see right here is Michael Dunn gets beat pretty much off the jump, right? 1, 2, he's already turning, butt out, just beat. DeJuan Jones is doing his thing, and in 72 does a nice little help right there. But Michael Dunn, or whoever 60 is, lets his man through. But DTR does a great job here of feeling it before he puts that hand back. Look, you see how a lot of quarterbacks would not feel this out in time and go back and put that ball up high and make it real vulnerable for a strip sack. And he almost does it, right? He almost rips it. But right before he pulls the ripcord, he feels this pressure and brings that ball back in. And it makes this cut up field. Now, I don't know what he saw. And I don't think he saw anything because it looks like this protection is taken care of if you're DTR. He just feels it, avoids it. And then look how far he gets in this one step. It's kind of freaky. And then on a nice little run, he has his patented fake out move here, moves his safety a little bit, just enough to crease it down the middle and get a first down. Love the instincts there. This one here, and we're going to be talking about not just DTR, but Demetric Felton a lot in this video because I felt like Demetric Felton had himself a pretty nice showing, and I would be interested to see, hey, maybe Demetric Felton needs to be talked about more as a backup running back or a third down option here. So nice cut here to avoid DeJuan's man, and then he finds a way to really be maneuverable here. Cut, crease, stay on your feet, accelerate again. There we go. You can be small and be a running back. You just have to have really good balance and good acceleration. Here's another run. It's Demetric Felton. Cut. Never really gets a chance to accelerate, but good enough vision there to be able to cut around what wasn't there. This one right here is DeJuan doesn't do a great job here. This is where you would want to see, look, sometimes DeJuan's pad level gets high because he's giant. And this is where you want to see DeJuan just get a tad bit lower so this guy can't get underneath him. And if he can get his arms under that guy instead of kind of trailing him with his hands kind of high on the shoulder pads in the back, he could actually anchor and stop this guy in his tracks. But since he got beat under, he's getting moved a little bit. And since DeJuan's so giant, that's going to make a huge difference in his run play. And then this man gets free, slows down Demetric, allows whoever Anthony Schwartz's guy? Not really. He was running a route. He just came off the route. And I think Anthony didn't run the route tight enough to be able to block there too. Here is Demetric Felton. Look at the feet here. I like the feet. So, the feet footwork to get to the drop changes with every team. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like a 5-step drop with a 0 step. But this is universal. Wide stance. Good feet. Good ball. Right on the money on the seam. Another one right here where you can see he just does a great job of getting a wide stance, fills out the pressure. Again, it's the second time we're talking about it. He just fills out not just front side, but backside pressure, right? He's looking downfield. He feels the pressure, steps up. Eyes still downfield. Hey, is there something here? Is there something here? Is there something here? Okay, there's nothing. All right, let me go. And then a little jump move. As the jump man right there. Doesn't really fool anybody, but it looks cool. Gets to the sideline and then able to just keep his feet in bounds here. And I think everybody thought this play was dead at that point, but then he kept his feet in bounds and then extended it. Great play here by DTR. This run here by Demetric. Great vision and great creativity here. So he runs here, nothing's happening. You see the gap that he's supposed to be going to is filled by that linebacker. So nothing there. But he's athletic enough to bounce this thing out. And DTR, again, pretty good awareness on DTR for a rookie. Realizes this and tries to lay out a block. Not the greatest block in the world, but it's pretty, you appreciate the effort when it comes to quarterback. And then Demetric Felton does this nice little half step to slow him down just a little bit, get control of his body. And again, body control balance is a under, it is, let me get full screen here. I don't think people appreciate how important body control and balance are to a running back, because that's everything. How many great athletes have you seen try to get end arounds? Like Johnny Dixon was a good example of this when he was at Ohio State. The man was fast as everything, but you give him the ball and he gets tripped up by an arm tackle, not because he's small, but because the man had no balance. Demetric Felton has really good balance and he has really good body control. So yeah, he's small, but if you have good balance and good body control, the things that are going to affect you because you're small don't really affect you because you can stay on your feet. The worry about a running back being small isn't as much injury as it is, can that running back stay on his feet? If the answer is yes, it doesn't matter how small they are. But that's what you want to see here, right? Good vision, cuts this play out, and even stays on his feet through a missed tackle here. So 53 tries to get him. He's balanced enough, has enough good body control to bounce this out. Gets to the corner, beats everybody there, and has enough body control to absorb the contact and stay on his feet. Body control at the running back position is so underrated. We don't test it at the combine, so nobody thinks it matters. But body control at the running back position, that's important. It's so important. We have to talk about it more. What makes Nick Chubb be able to break those tackles? Yes, he's a giant. He's fast. He also has elite balance, elite body control. Not saying Demetric Felton has elite balance, body control, but he has good balance and good body control. This right here is a great play by Cam Mitchell. Kind of baits Strepler, well, not Strepler, number 7 into this throw. And almost gets a pick. That's what you like to see out the young player here. All right, Demetric Felton, not Demetric Felton, DTR again. I believe they were teammates at UCLA at one point, right? So again, nice drop. Way to get to his steps. A little wide, but he finds his passing lane. You see how there's that lane where nobody's in his way. This ball cannot be batted. He's only 6'1". He needs to be good at finding his passing lane. He does. Throws a nice ball. Could have been a much better ball. Let's be honest here. Kind of lobbed it. And the reason he lobbed it was because look how wide look how horizontal his feet are. Look how the horizontal base he's playing from. See, if he was Pat Mahomes can make a throw like that full speed, but like DTR is definitely not Pat Mahomes. So he's not going to make that throw. Just a wide base kind of takes a lot off of this throw. And it ends up being a little short. It still gets there. That's the kind of throw that you would get away with in a Hall of Fame game that you're not going to get away with in a regular season game. This is picked all the way in a regular season game, right? Just look at the feet here. Too horizontal. Doesn't allow him to get too much power on this throw. The ball kind of just floats in the air. Yeah, it's picked off in a regular season game. Right here is a run play where they kind of rip it. This is a read option. So they're reading 98, basically. They're saying, hey, is 98 chasing or is 98 coming? They make him wrong. Hands the ball off. That's the right read on the read option. And then Whippler, number 56, does a great job of getting to the second level, defeating, splitting, and then boom. This is an example of what's the future for like a Deshaun Watson and a Nick Chubb and what you could do to a defense. This play right here is the dream, right? So what they're going to do is run a little fake here. DTR is going to run off to the other side, and that's going to split the defense to the point to where the running back is running basically alone for a large gain. If that's Nick Chubb, that could go all the way. Again, look how this splits the defense. One side, boom, boom. And that's the hope of what you could do to defenses with Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson in the game. Again, that's Hassan Hall in DT. This is Siaki Ika, 62. Does a good job. I think he got one-on-one this time, right? Good job stacking, sitting, and reaching for a tackle. Well, he didn't get the tackle for loss. Somebody else did, but he caused it. So that's good on Ika. This right here by DTR. Oh, no, this is just the beginning of the video again. So that's what we saw from the young guys in the first half of the Hall of Fame game. Again, good signs. You can still see why some of these guys weren't first round picks or second round picks and the things that they need to clean up in their game, which is fine. That's the reason you take these guys later in the draft, is so you can clean up these flaws, but you want to see the sparks. I think you saw a good amount of sparks. I like DTR's natural awareness. I like his feet, his comfortableness in the game, and in the pocket. I think that's all good. Natural arm talent isn't what you want it to be for DTR, so he has to have some ways of getting around that as a quarterback, and guys have found ways around that as quarterbacks in the past, so that's fine. Luke Whippler, I thought, looked great. And Demetric Felton, somebody who, look, I know that Jerome Ford's not going to play for the rest of the preseason. You're probably not going to see Nick Chubb, but I do think it's a good thing that we're going to see a lot more of John Kelly and Demetric Felton, especially Demetric Felton, because while John Kelly, a lot of his yards were due in Hassan Hall as well, both of their yards were kind of created by the offensive line's dominance. Demetric Felton was creating some of his own yardage. Again, it's a Hall of Fame game. He's a third-year player. He should do this kind of stuff, but you want to see more of him. And I wouldn't mind seeing Demetric in there with the starters today if that were something that's possible. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.